stare at the screen. We running?
Yeah, we are. Shh, quiet, everybody. Quiet on the set. Here we go. Music.
I read the news today, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, cause the headlines, man, they all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged, and you know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, and cross its way under your skin. Just got by all the things they spout, and you should give me that good news.
Why is that, Scott?
Because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Look at us. We could be on Broadway. Welcome in 21/6 the net. February 1/8, February 18th. 2 days after National 216 Day.
Yeah, that was a
216.
great day.
Great day. Of course, February 18th is International Dawn Bremer Day. To our sister out there, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dawn.
Happy birthday. Thanks for being Dawn. This is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen.
And it's international.
International. So if you see a BAT woman, right?
Yeah, Batwoman driving.
Batwoman driving around, pull her over, give her a hug, wish her happy birthday. It's her day, International Dawn Day.
International. We need to get one of those donated for us too.
Put that right on your truck.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, absolutely love you. You're tuned into the grounds with Giles and Jones. He's Giles. I'm Jones. Brought to you through the financial support of our good friends over at Canna Bliss CBD Shop. Check them out at www.cannabliscbdshop.com or give them a call at 815-687-2608. Or if you're in McHenry, right across from the public library, there it is.
Yeah, 818 Front Street there. Yeah, right Absolutely. By the library or Restore or Habitat for Humanity.
Habitat.
Habitat.
That is it. Of course, this show is the show where you, the listener, can join us on the show. We've already got one guy. Looks like he's coming in from the Gatlinburg, Tennessee area. You might recognize that face as Coach Papa, Tim Stewart. Papa. He's up off early, but I think they're in the same time.
He's one of the bald guys.
Yeah,
he's not bald anymore.
He's not, right. But here's the cool thing. Cool thing is this. You and I have been talking about all week. We've been promoting this. We need your help on this. Good morning, Gary from Singapore. Today's topic
is, what is the American dream?
What is the American dream?
And that is just such a wide open
question.
Is
there such a thing?
Right. Or are we just being fed what they think it should be?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and it's different for everybody.
Yeah. And of course, Gary, hope you had a great Friday. He just got back not too long ago from the final day of the Singapore Air Show. Check him out. Follow him out on Facebook. You can find him up there. Beau Play Photos. Some great photos. Looks like he had a blast there at the air show, the Singapore Air Show.
Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome. Thing. I haven't been to an air show in a while. Really that would be fun.
Yep.
That's really exciting.
So here at the grounds, of course, it's a show that's a nonsensical show. You and I talk about things. All we want to do is pique people's, get their brain kind of oiled up and moving in the morning.
Right.
Doesn't have to move in any one direction. Of course, we go from anything from peanut butter to politics, but no politics. We will walk a line. We'll walk right on the edge.
Yep.
Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Shay. Okay. So
I don't know Shay, but they have Shea butter.
Now, Tim. Here's let's get it from an Army veteran, a United States Army veteran.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
What is the American dream?
The American dream? Well, and actually, to correct you, I haven't made it to Gatlinburg yet. I'm in Canton, Georgia, with one of my former sergeants, Brian, who's
hey, Brian. Yeah, welcome
Good
in.
morning.
Only 800,000 people tuning in. You look good, buddy. Appreciate that.
Being
Way to put him in. Way to put him right there.
Yeah.
So,
No,
guys, okay,
well,
so we got a couple Army guys there.
Right, right.
What is the American dream?
What's the American dream, Brian?
I'm living the dream.
What is it?
I got to tell you, he is. If I gave you a tour of this house he's got here.
I had a career in the fire service after the Army, did 34 years up in Illinois, and then as soon as I retired, I got out of Illinois and got into the better weather.
So the American dream is retirement and better weather.
And better
Yeah.
weather.
That's something to search for, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the American dream it's always been to to live a way that we want to live. You know, for Brian, it's down here in Georgia. For others, but we've lost sight of how we want to live. We're too worried about everybody else.
That's a
my
very good point. Worried about everybody else and maybe what they're doing or what they're thinking, right?
So, if I want to live a life of a mass murderer, and that's the American dream. I can just go around killing people.
For
'Cause
you,
that's the
I
way
mean,
I want to live,
That's your American dream, potentially.
right? So what you're saying is, live a way
these
we
are
want.
the guys I hang out with, mass murderers.
Live a way we want to live. So if I want to just walk around shooting people that have blue eyes and brown hair,
He's
because that's the way I want to live, that's the American dream for me.
Rock on.
No, that's a crime. That's not the American dream. I think, at least in my mind, I mean, the American dream for me is subjective for everybody else. To everybody, it's
Okay.
different for everybody else. What has been kind of standardized, I guess, if you will, as the American dream is,
Yeah.
you know, at least what I was brought up on the American dream was to, grow up, get a job, go to school, get a job, make money, have a family, so you can afford to, buy your family toys, vacations, what have you, to be able to have expendable money to do activities and things that you find exciting or enjoyable. But it changes. It's different for everybody else. My American dream, as I was growing up, and we're sold the American dream
Yeah.
every day
Oh, yeah.
through
Yeah, yeah.
advertising, right? I
Right.
mean, the TVs and the radios tell us what the American dream is. Yo, you need this, and only for $19.95,
But wait, there's
yeah,
more.
but wait, there's more. You can have, well, what is more? I mean,
Yeah.
or is more less, or is less more, right? I mean, and the American dream these days has become, in my mind, I feel, consumerism. Oh, you're the American, buy this, work harder to buy this,
Interesting.
to do that, to have
So-
that.
So we have people flooding to get into the United States to purchase things. I'm coming in from a country that I want to get out of to live in the United States to buy stuff.
No, the people that are coming in from other countries are looking for
Ah,
a better life, right? And this is something we were talking about the other day, right? Like our grandparents or our grandparents' grandparents,
Yeah.
were coming over in search of a better life, in search of a way to make a better life, to maybe earn more, or to have the opportunity to have freedom, because where they were coming from, their life wasn't as free. So the American dream has changed considerably over the years, and it is different from person to person.
Okay. So what is the American dream is defined as what? Yeah, put on the readers.
Gotta read them. So with the American dream, do whatever you choose. It's your life. For us, well, that's not the actual.
You wrote it down, I thought.
I did. I know I did. I just don't remember what page I wrote it on.
Yeah. Great.
Uh-oh.
Great rate.
Using too much of your own product, Scott?
What's that?
Using too much of your own product?
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
Right.
No, but basically back in the early 1900s, the dream was to come to America for a better life, better wages, freedom, wanting a better life for our kids, allowing them to, have something we didn't have.
Interesting. Okay.
And to go kind of back to what Deke was saying, to live a better life within a set of rules. No, it's not okay to go down the street and be a mass murderer. But I know my grandmother, her and granddad bought a motorhome, and they spent the retirement years traveling across the country. That was their American dream. So I think what Scott, what you're saying in that definition, there's a lot of truth to that, but within a set of rules, and that's where we've gone haywire today. Is we've thrown the rules out the window.
Oh, interesting. Well, the Oxford Dictionary says the American dream defines it as this: the ideal by which equality of opportunity is available to any American, allowing the highest aspiration and goals to be achieved.
Yeah.
Isn't the Oxford Dictionary out of England?
Yeah.
And then why are they defining the American dream?
Aren't we out of England?
Good point.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Gary, good morning.
Good
evening.
morning in Singapore. How you doing, Gary?
Fine, I'm doing fine.
Listen, guys,
Hi, Coach.
hey, I'm gonna give my time to Gary. I'm gonna get back with my friends here. I just want to check in this morning and say, hey, good morning. The weather is beautiful in Georgia, and I'll see you in a week.
Okay.
Take care,
Live
Coach.
the American dream, Coach.
Live the American dream over there in the house in the warm weather.
All right.
It's a deal. Peace out, guys.
So, Gary,
Yeah.
what do you think the American dream is?
Wow, I mean, isn't that the easiest question to answer? Is a PBJ sandwich? Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
There you go.
Actually, as long as it's grape jelly. Gotta be grape.
Yep.
That's right.
That is the American dream.
There you go.
Jelly sandwich and watch the Flintstones.
On white bread.
On
Well,
white-
it was a toss between a PBJ sandwich and Wonder Bread. So
That's it. That's it. Let's see what Beth has to say. Beth says, I feel the American dream is the pursuit of a great life. It's the ability to have a choice of what you want to dream, what you want to do to earn a living without government control telling you what you have to be able to work hard and get ahead.
okay, that's a very interesting thing. So I refer back to what you were discussing, both of you were discussing earlier. So I think Ken, you were saying that there's a lot of people trying to enter the US to pursue the American dream.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think it really depends on where the people come from. So here in Singapore, we are a pretty developed country, or actually we are a developed country. We have a high standard of living. We have almost everything that you want, except perhaps for certain societal freedoms, which is very different from what the American Constitution has. However, to a Singaporean, when they say the American dream, it's not about jobs or that. It's actually more about the freedom of the society that you have over there. So that is the definition. That's the definition of most Singaporeans when they talk about an American dream. That I can go to a country where I could cast at the president and I could say anything I want. It's just, I could carry a gun. I could conceal carry, open carry. So that's a different level of expectation of the American dream from this side here, as opposed to say perhaps somebody coming from perhaps a lesser developed country. So I think it's a very multifaceted viewpoint what the American dream is. It really depends on where the person come from and what is his background and what he expects to see or get in America.
Right. That's a good way to put it.
So yeah, but it's a freedom to choose. Really, is kind of what you're coming down to. Do what you want to do that we don't have as much control. Let's say as you guys in Singapore, we can, like you just said, swear at the president.
Right.
That's not really my dream, but it's a fact.
We can cast at the president. I think there's nothing wrong. But I guess I think people perhaps it's also a representation of what the American society is in movies, in TVs, and in news. And people have this perception here that's like, oh, when we go to America, we can do anything and anything that we want. There's really nobody that can really stop us as long as it's in the Constitution. We really can do anything and everything that we want. So it's a different perspective. I mean, obviously, if you come from a lesser developed country, your American dream is to find a job and to get a certain amount of money, and and to eventually use that money to bring your family across to the US. So that perhaps is a different American dream. Here we do not have to worry about bringing family illegally across, because we can have we have a visa free arrangement with the US in travel and in work permits and things like that. So we have a slightly different level of starting point as compared to somebody else from another country,
Sure.
with regards to the US.
Sure. So Shana, good morning, says to have more than enough freedom of expression and association, maybe. Good morning.
What do you consider enough? I mean, that's the thing. To have more than enough. What's enough?
So
it's different for everybody.
I
right?
am not an American citizen, and I'm a citizen of a different country, and I want to move to America because of the American dream. Is I really want to have more than enough. I'm going to risk my family life, everything, my kids, just because I'm greedy. I want to have more than enough.
More of what? Right.
Enough.
Right. Right. More than enough of what? So what are you looking? What are you looking to get? And that's different
It's the
for
American
everybody.
dream, man.
Right. It's different for everybody. You're looking to get more money. You're looking to get a bigger house. You're looking to get less.
I'm just excited to walk around on,
Free soil.
Halloween and get free candy that I could buy all year round. Anyway, go ahead. What is and hey, Pops, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Dad. The American dream is the belief that anyone, regardless of where they were born or what class they were born into, can attain their own version of success in a society in which upward mobility is possible for everybody. I like that one.
That's a pretty good definition. Yes,
I like that one. Yeah.
That it basically places the level of success in the hands of the person. The environment is there in the US. The factors are there. It's really up to you to mobile yourself upward. To get yourself mobile with upward mobility to achieve whatever success that you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, in America here it is. It's you have more opportunities to become more successful or to attain their own version of success, right? Through upward mobility, whatever that upward mobility may be. If your idea of American dream is working at Walmart, you can achieve that here. If your American dream is, to have 10 kids and be on welfare, you can do that. If your American dream is to own your own business or businesses and, vacation quite a bit with family and friends, you can do that. But there is always a price to pay for all of those things, right?
So let's just let this one ruminate a little bit that Mr. Giles Senior put out there, right?
Yeah, Mr. Giles Senior.
He is because he's Giles, I'm Jones. He's the other Giles.
He's the main Giles.
Is that sounds fantastic? When here's what we're gonna do. Scott and I were sitting at our house. We were planning this show. We were talking,
and we had a grand old time.
We did.
We talked about our childhoods and what our American dream was.
Right.
It was awesome.
So my daughter Lucy is in the other room doing her homework. Right. She's in the 7th grade. So I said, "Hey, Luce," I said, "Hey, what's the American dream?" 12 years old, American. Right.
And the look on her face.
And what did she looked and she goes,
"What are you talking about?" She had no idea. Literally no
never
idea.
Heard the phrase.
Right, never heard the phrase. And you would think that's something that in school they talk about, like what's your aspirations? Right. What do you want to be when you grow up? You know what I mean? Because that's part of a dream, right? To have a goal or a dream. And she literally looked like dumbfounded. And Kent and I just went crazy. I mean, it was a good crazy because we're going, see, this is what's happening to the world, right? Because when we were growing up, Kent and I are like freaking two peas in a pod at how we grew up, even though we grew up in completely different states, so far away from each other. But we had a dream of doing these things. And hey, wouldn't it be great to do this and go out and do this and, maybe, I don't know, become a banker or something. So kids these days, what's the American dream? I don't know.
What are you talking?
What are you talking about?
Right. So now let's keep it right here in this same lane. So here's a 12-year-old, the dream, the belief that anyone, regardless of where they were born or what they were born into, can attain in their own version of success in a society in which upward mobility is possible for everyone. My daughter And several Americans don't have that dream.
Don't even know about. Don't
They
even
don't
think about
There
it.
is no dream. So, and now let's move forward. And we love Zach. We've had Zach on, your son. You
Yep.
asked him the same question. Now, here's a guy who graduated, got his bachelor's, on a path, a successful path, just a great guy.
Right.
And what did he's 23, 24,
23
right?
years old.
Yep.
Yeah. And, he sat actually back for a second and thought about it.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a specific, he's like, I want to be able to, and this kind of, I laughed, but I also cried because
Yeah.
he's like, to make enough money to buy the things that I want to do and to be able to do what I want to do. And for me, I'm like, okay, I get that. That's kind of something that I kind of inbred in you, and society is inbreeding into you through, commercials and consumerism and, you need to make this much money so you can do this and you can have fun. But for me, I was like, well, really, isn't it supposed to be about just doing what makes you happy? I mean, because for me, growing up, the American dream was buy a house, have kids, buy cars, go on vacation.
Your American dream was to buy a house and to be in debt. Congratulations,
Yeah,
be
right.
in debt.
Be in debt, yeah.
American dream. American dream. All right.
Well, that's what we're sold.
Interesting.
Right? This is what it is.
Jessica, good morning, says, wow, thank you for breaking that down from a real perspective. Thank you. Tuned in right on time. Of course, she was talking about what Gary was saying a little bit earlier, just catching up. Of course, look at this.
Don Bremer said
National Dawn Bremer Day today.
International.
You see a Batwoman, you got to think of Dawn. Give her a hug. BAT woman. She is absolutely 20. I think she's 28, 29 years old
she's
today.
she's 29 today.
Yeah, she is absolutely beautiful. Of course, Dawn Bremer, happy birthday, sister. Love you.
Yeah,
you hold a special place in my heart.
And mine as well.
So,
it's hard to find good people like her.
Yep. You see, Dawn?
She's part of the American dream.
Wish her birthday, give her a spanking. Not a birthday spanking.
Just a spanking. And she may enjoy that. And if not, visit Fantasy Factory. She'll let you know.
That's it.
That's the American dream.
Yeah. Actually, she's got a birthday shopping list there, registry. So
does she really?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, in my store.
At your store, right? No.
She does. She has a running tab. Sorry, Don. I didn't mean to give out your secret. That's her American dream.
Yeah, that's right. Shayna says,
huh?
Dreams and beliefs are by definition subjective. Maybe the deeper question is, what is the American reality?
Ooh,
well,
what is the American reality? The American reality is people are pissed off right now.
Yeah,
right. That's not the dream. The reality right now is that people are, and they're not. And for me, I see. The reality is that the dream is dead in a lot of people's eyes because of all this turmoil we're having out there in the world, right? They've become not sterile, but they become
immune to it.
They're just everyone's just, oh my God.
That's
no motivation. Their pursuit, right? Their motivation, their pursuit, and that's it's kind of like a lot of the kids today, right?
There's your no chair ballet doesn't go good
over
the radio,
here, guys. I know a lot of dead air, but it's like everyone just kind of stagnant right now.
So Beth says, growing up, I always heard the American dream was to own your own home with the white picket fence and have your 2.1 kids and a dog and live a great life. I always loved the 2.1 kids. Yeah.
LOL.
Well, the one is a little shorter than the other.
That's right. Just slightly.
So yeah. So in the 90s, it switched, right? It switched to the American dream is everyone should own a house. Thanks, Bill Clinton. And they built this thing because they wanted to get the economy moving in a certain direction. So listen, if I'm fighting my ass off to come to America for a better life, just as Robert said earlier, the furthest thing from my mind is a house with a white picket fence.
Well, how do you know?
Because
you're coming to America, you want what everyone else has.
Yeah,
you want to have the opportunity to get that stuff.
No, not necessarily. I want the opportunity to not have a drug cartel putting a pistol in my mouth as I'm snoring at night.
Well, that,
Yeah, that's true.
right. That's a good American dream.
I mean, honestly, right?
Right. Well,
As Gary said, I'm trying to get out of perhaps a bad situation under some type of government
some type of other
because
regime,
there's
yeah.
the freedoms, quote unquote, here. Yeah, great.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily in a about hard assets. It could be it could be an ideology. It could be the societal environment. So it's not necessarily about having a car, a house, a big garden, or something like that. It could be something as simple as that. I just want to be able to to walk the streets without a van pulling up and bundling me into some secret prison somewhere just because the government doesn't like me.
Right.
Well,
So hey, man, it is what it is. What's
so Bob says the main reason, quote unquote, the American dream is considered as being dead for all Americans, regardless of race, is due to wealth inequality in the United States today.
No.
I don't know if wealth inequality would consider the American dream dead.
Yeah.
It's definitely separating people in groups, right? Because obviously, well, I mean, do you want to be wealthy? I mean,
All right.
or do you just want to exist? Do you want to be able to do the things you want to do? I don't think that
No,
wealth inequality would kill the American
We talked
dream.
about this the other night. So my grandfather, all right, I'm third generation American. My grandfather, my dad's dad, and his brother stowed away on a ship, hid on a ship from Wales, and came into Ellis Island. Okay.
So they're on the Ellis Island.
Yeah,
Matt,
charter,
check
right?
that.
My dad and mom found him, on those whatever Ellis Island charts or whatever.
Mhm.
Now, he and his brother then find their way to Michigan, and they end up living in Michigan in an alley behind a back in the early teens and 20s and early 30s. They live in an alley behind a restaurant so that they can eat the scraps that are thrown out. Right.
Let's get a free meal.
Right.
That's welfare today.
Then they work hard, and then eventually my grandfather owned 3 small grocery stores, right, in the Lansing, Michigan area. My dad's first job was cutting the mold off of the cheese, so because that was always the best cheese, you'd slice and get that first layer of cheese right under the mold. So his job as a kid was mold slicing, cutting the cheese, right?
I do that every day.
So what happened was that American dream was, man, I'm going to America to make a way to have a better life than what I have over here, more opportunities,
It's the opportunity,
whatever it may be. And I had kids, and I want my kids to have a better life than me. So then my dad, instead of working hard and living in an alley, grows up in a house. Right. His dad's an entrepreneur. And then my dad then goes to General Motors Institute and becomes an engineer for General Motors, ends up working on the wiring harnesses for the C-style bodies, all that good stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Now, my dad then works, says, hey, I want a better life for my kids. Right. So now I am entitled a little bit more because of the lifestyle that we live.
Right.
My
You're not
dad,
struggling for anything.
My dad then leaves his engineering and becomes a pastor. And so I grew up as a pastor's kid. When I was 9, that's when he made the move. And so all of a sudden now I have a good life. I'm able to go to college. I had a car. I did things. I bought my car.
I was gonna say you worked your ass off for it though too, but you had that opportunity.
And what it was back then is you work hard, and you get rewarded for working hard. So then we want something that's better for our kids, and we say, well, get a job. You work, not necessarily hard, because here's this beautiful TV for your room, or here's this beautiful thing, because I want you to have. And now our kids are soft, and we've taken the dream away from them. Right. So what I say is your granddaughter, my grandkids, when I have them, they're going to have to go back to working extremely hard to fight and try to find the American dream, because right now it doesn't exist.
No, I think, and
for anybody in America.
Right. And I to that point, not everyone, but as a general rule, the kids have become soft. They don't have that pursuit, right, that we had as kids. When we were kids, think about it, Kent. We were talking about this the other night. We had the pursuit that, oh my God, I could have that. What do you got to do to get that? You got to work. You got to
Gotta
go
bust your
earn
ass.
some money,
Right.
right? You got to learn to save it. You got to prioritize, but you can get that. So we
Yeah.
pursued that, just like you wanted, if, I'm going to take this a little bit different. You wanted a girlfriend. You had to pursue her, right? She's not just going to come to you. Money's
Oh,
not
I
just going to
was-
come.
I was
Well,
like-
yeah. Different story. But they're not going to come to you, right? It's not free. You have to, there's a pursuit. There's a drive. There's a motivation to get to it. What your drive and motivation behind that pursuit is a little bit different for everybody else.
Mhm.
But your comment that kids are soft today is because everything is given to them through a little device that they can hold in their
Mhm.
hand. They don't have to actually live life
Yeah.
anymore. They can watch it happen, and a lot of them are actually that suffices them by watching it.
And let me share with what and Shane, I'm going to ride this point here a little bit too. Once upon a time, people had to leave their houses to kill boredom. Maybe changing the dream of whatever we decided that is, right? Maybe tech is changing.
Well, I just talked to Zachary about that last night.
So here's the deal. Back in August and September, we had the quote unquote mass exodus where everybody left their work. Millions of people
yeah.
walked out of their jobs, said, "I'm done with you." And just in January of 2022, we had 500,000 new entrepreneurial businesses start here in America.
Yep.
Okay. And people are like, yes. Are you kidding me? 458,365 of them are going to fail. They're not entrepreneurs. What they want to do is sit and, hey, I own them. They want to be able to say, I own a business. Yep. I own a business.
Well, did they buy them? Are they buying themselves a job?
They don't,
right?
They don't have the work ethic. They don't have business smarts.
Right.
They're just like, I'm tired of working for the man. They don't understand what it takes to run a business.
Right.
Not everybody's an entrepreneur.
They have that dream, but I don't think a lot of people that do that actually really understand that, you know what, when you're working for somebody else, right, you're working a 40-hour week, at least minimally, or what, right. So, and you're expected to be there 40 hours a week.
Yep.
You own a business? Hello. That ain't the
You
job
don't get a day
anymore.
off.
No, you don't get, well, you can. You
No, you
need
don't.
to learn to schedule it in, right? And it's a tough one. That is a real tough one. But
your mind never turns off.
Right. No, my mind never
You
turns
don't
off.
get a day
Right.
off. You're not, man, I'll be in the shop, but you never get a day off.
Okay. Well, when I'm asleep, well, I guess it doesn't turn off. But the thing is what they don't realize is that you actually work harder and longer hours and have on certain days more stress, can be stress that you control or you bring in or out, right, than working for somebody else. But you do have more freedom.
It could take you 3 years before you could clear a paycheck.
Potentially, yeah. But you do have, and so people see that, right? People see that as an American dream, but they don't realize what's actually behind that American dream, right? Like, I work my ass off, but the difference is I love it because I see my production. I see my what I'm giving back or what I'm able to do, and I'm in control of it. That's the big thing. I work harder than most people that work for somebody else, but my American dream was to be my own boss.
Yeah.
Right. And to write my own paycheck. If I need a check, I can write it to me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that you talked about starting all those new businesses have no idea. They're just fed up with it. So they're going to try it. And good for them because they tried. Right. And I got to give them a lot of kudos because they're trying to live the dream, but maybe they didn't have the proper information.
Their American dream is, I'm not going to work for the man. Right. You can't,
or the woman, to be politically correct.
It's this. You can't hold me accountable. This is crap work environment. You can't hold me accountable.
Right.
I have rights.
Right.
No, you work for me.
Right.
I'll treat you like a human being.
Right.
But listen, trade your time for my hourly rate.
There is a trade-off. Yeah.
And that's what helps you pay your bills.
Right.
And good luck with, being a Mary Kay or whatever you just started. Right. Listen, the American dream was created in 1931. You would think that the American dream was started way back in the 1600s.
1776 when the United States Declaration of Independence.
The American
That's the dream, right?
Was coined in 1931.
Well, the term was coined right in 1931.
So what is
People
the American dream? Listen, I will tell you, if you are an American, you don't have an American dream. You're
If you're not-
entitled. You don't think listen, you don't have an American dream because you don't realize and appreciate what you're laying in. Listen, you didn't lay there at night as a kid and just truly go, I am so thankful that my dad and mom bust their ass to give me this bed, to give me food. No, you were a prick to your parents. We all were.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
You weren't grateful for it. We don't understand
what they go through,
what we have, the abilities that we have. Somebody from outside America will risk their life, will risk their kid's life
to get here, to get that opportunity to do their own thing, right? And yeah, and as kids, and
now we have half of our society saying America sucks.
Well, that half of the society also is the one that wants the government to give them their paycheck, or they want $23 an hour to flip a burger, right? There's the common sense in America has killed the lack of common sense in America has killed the dream.
Right. Shana says the main sell of the USA is the promise of rags to riches potential promoted via Hollywood lies. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
It's all marketing.
Well,
it's
so it's TV, it's social media, it's the news. They're telling you, they're selling you, and they call it TV programming for a reason. They're programming you on what you think you want or need.
Right.
You know, just like Amazon's and all that stuff. Those algorithms are tracking you, and they're going, oh, this guy likes this. Well, then I'm going to keep pushing stuff in front of him because that's what he really wants.
Yeah.
That's what he really needs. And perception becomes reality so quickly for people. You don't even realize it. I'm guilty of it happening to me. Right. I mean, for years, my American dream was that I wanted to be rich. I wanted to make money. I wanted to, just have tons of shit.
Sure.
Okay.
Keep up with the Joneses.
Keep up with the Joneses, right? But that's not what makes me happy. The times that I am the happiest has nothing to do with spending money.
Right here, listening to the ground.
Yeah. No, but like the times that I'm honestly the happiest has nothing to do with the amount of money I have, the amount of things that I have.
Right.
It is literally sitting, like yesterday, I was blessed enough to go with my father up into Wisconsin to buy some stuff for one of my vehicles. And just spending the time in my vehicle talking to him about just what I'm going to do to this toy.
And Bob, as you're sitting on your therapist's couch today talking about that trip.
I really, or even just sitting down at your house the other night.
Right.
We went back to we were like 10 years old in our heads at your table, dude.
Exactly.
And we were laughing, and it was only supposed to be like a half-hour meeting, right? It turned into 2 hours and lickety split. And we had a great time. To me, that is the dream, dude, to have people around you that are loving, that are caring, that you can share your highs, your lows, your dream, right? And not be judged.
Yeah.
Because so many people these days are afraid of sharing that, hey, back in the day, I had a piece of shit bike that I had to put together. But for you and me, it's like, oh my God, it was great. I found a wheel on this guy's garbage can. I put it together. I painted it.
Right.
That to me, and that's where I feel the American dream has gone awry.
Taking the engine
because
out of that
now
68
it's not
Beetle with my dad.
Right. So now the American dream has gone awry from just being happy and having your family to you've got to make this, you've got to do this, you've got to have the iPhone 38.
Right.
Which
costs more than my first 4 cars I bought.
You got to be driving the Tesla.
All right, Sal. Good morning, brother. China is now going through the American dream. I don't know. You're going to have to expound on that. Help me out with that one. The cost of the Super Bowl ads support the idea. Yeah, right. And Ted, good morning.
Did you see that? Did you see that one Super Bowl ad? I think it was a cryptocurrency ad where they were talking about getting rid of the not going to be a king or a monarchy anymore, and that it'd be free. Basically everyone gets to vote. And the one guy said, I should have pulled that up. And the one guy says, so what you're telling me is that even the stupid people get to vote? You know what I mean? And that was their American dream, right? To change things. Right. It's crazy. Bob, actually, I'm going to jump back up here real quick. Bob said the comment, he said, everyone should be an owner before being an employee in order to fully understand the issues, and I'm going to add on to that, of being your own boss. I agree 1,000%. You've owned your own business. You did very well with it. Obviously, there's some extenuating circumstances. You know what's
Yeah.
into it. So then you became an entrepreneur, right? Because
Follow Kent Jones for how to kill your partners.
yeah, no, not with two unsaid, but
Oh,
you know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah.
If somebody, but like when we were here's something we were talking about when Kent and I were sitting there talking. As kids, we talked about we had to work for our right. We literally we both
Listen.
had paper routes that got up every day, worked our ass off. We cut grass. We had a pursuit.
Now, hold that thought right there. That is it. The American dream is the pursuit of happiness. And
What is happiness?
Happiness is whatever makes you happy right now. People, listen, if I'm fighting to get into America, I'm fighting for a better life because that will make me happy. That will make my life happy. This is the American dream, the pursuit of happiness, right? Doesn't matter. But here we've changed it to the purchase of happiness.
There you go. Bang, right there.
Right?
Bang, because consumerism has become a major problem. What makes you happy? I bought a new car the other day. I bought another house the other day. I went on vacation the other day.
Yeah.
How about instead of the pursuit of happiness, my kids are doing well. We're sitting around talking and having fun. My neighbors came over.
Right.
We roasted some marshmallows. I think the thing is the simple things in life have gone to the back burner.
We've burned past. Speaking of the American dream,
Yeah, we got a rating today.
And consumerism. We passed that halfway mark. Of course, you're listening to 21.6 the Net. It's National Dawn Bremer Day. Wish her happy birthday if you see her, when you see her, out on social media, whatever the case may be. We absolutely love her with all that we got. Happy birthday, Dawn. But today,
and Dawn is not Kent's wife either.
Right. The Grounds and Hounds Coffee Company Madagascar Vanilla is what we're drinking this morning. We've had it once before, so we don't have to give it a puck, but we just want to give them a shout out. I got in this morning and did a little Mary Catherine's Power Hour playlist this morning and said,
you know what? Fired up, a little speed
got me
metal.
fired up, and I said, you know what would be good is the Madagascar Vanilla. It's awesome. You can pick it up over at your shop.
Reese's Bakery and Pontique at 1313 Riverside Drive in McHenry.
Good cup of coffee.
Right next to, good cup of coffee. We're actually going to end up putting in a little coffee bar in there too for the mamas and the papas that want to have a little coffee cup when they come in to visit their dogs.
That's beautiful.
So, hey guys, just as a real quick side note, you know what the American dream for me is?
What's that?
Doing the polar plunge.
Oh.
We're doing the polar plunge this Sunday in Fox Lake for raising money for Special Olympics. That is part of my American dream, really, honestly, is to end up trying
shrinkage.
Shrinkage, yes, shrinkage. No, it's to help out other people. That is, for me, that is one thing that my parents instilled in me when I was younger. Is I feel better when I help people, and helping people.
The pursuit of your happiness.
The pursuit. Right. Well, in pursuit of happiness, that does make me happy.
All right. That's what I'm
right.
saying.
Like yesterday,
That's
yesterday was National Random Acts of Kindness Day. So, and I do this from time to time. I'll go in, restaurant and I'll buy somebody food, and just the look on their face is awesome.
So listen.
So that's happiness.
Listen. There is here's the deal. If the American dream is the pursuit of happiness, why is there so much yuck in the life? Right? Why is there so much hate? Why is there so much bitterness?
Comparison.
Right? Now, let me help you out. The American dream isn't only in America. You can have the pursuit of happiness wherever you're at. Singapore. You can have it in the Philippines. You can have it in the Congo. You can have it in Brazil. You can have the pursuit of happiness wherever you are at.
Right.
Right? So the American dream, first of all, we have to allow Americans to dream again.
Right. We're not telling them what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. Hey, this is now the American dream was never to own a house. The American dream was the pursuit of happiness. The American dream was to be able to cut your own way.
Right.
Right.
To do what you want to do.
Right.
And for me, the American dream is to do what you want to do when you want to do it, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. To live your life
yourself, a fellow man, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, to live your life the way that you want to live it.
Right.
Right.
Go ahead.
I will take Giles' statement that he just made. So the American dream is to do what you want, to be happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone. So I'm going to take that statement and I'm going to link it to Bob's statement earlier, where he talked about that the American dream is no longer there because of wealth inequality. So here's to me personally, I think that's this is where the irony is. the American dream was defined earlier in the program as, you know, the ability for anybody of any race, of any background, to have success and to have upward mobility in their life.
Yes.
Now, in doing so, when you talk about upward mobility, one of the, shall we say, side effects is that you may amass wealth because that's upward mobility. Now, if that's the case, then why are we begrudging people who have amassed that wealth, and then we pull them down and say that, oh, you know, it's because of wealth inequality that we are in this state now? Because it's like, well, I worked my ass off to achieve that level of upward mobility, which was the definition in the American dream in the 1930s. But here I am now being dragged down, that I'm actually the cause of why other people are not having the American dream, because of wealth inequality. So it's kind of irony that we want that in the American dream is to have people be successful, and yet they are dragged down when they become successful. They're dragged down because they are deemed to have caused that inequality, which shatters the American dreams of many people in America. So I don't see any logic really in that statement. To be honest,
I think what he's trying to say there.
Put words
Gary,
in his mouth.
Well, no, I think what he's trying to say there is, well, because there is becoming a big separation between the haves and the have-nots, right? Yeah. And the wealthy people are getting wealthier, and you know, this is been happening for a while. That pretty soon the middle class will not be here, right? It's going to be rich or poor. It's going to happen. It's just that's the way that we're moving. It's the way the world is allowing things to happen. But so the people that are getting richer, you know, the Amazons and, you know, the Facebooks and stuff like that are controlling so much more of the population and what's going on. And they're dictating the wages and the jobs that are out there. And the choices are becoming less and less. Not that you don't have a choice to become successful, but it is making it a little bit harder because of, you know, like for me with small businesses, it's hard for me to compete and make a go of it when I'm up against a Chewy or an Amazon to sell my product if they have the same product, right? So I have to work harder and smarter to make a decent amount of money, where they have the money to invest and to take these big chances where I don't. So it's pushing people going, well, why would I even do it? Because they're so big, I'm going to fail anyway. And then they don't do it. So it's a mindset thing, right?
So in that case,
those people having all that money, and I think that's where he's coming back. And Bob, if I'm wrong, please chime back in and, you know, kind of explain a little bit more to Gary of, you know, what you mean by that.
First of
all, so in that case, should upward mobility be removed from the entire definition of the American dream? Because upward mobility by itself will have an effect of wealth inequality for those who are very successful, or for those who set the path for something which nobody has created or invented, and then they set the path they created.
So listen to what I'm about to say. Here's where people get hung up. All men are created equal. Okay? Yeah. Not all men are equal throughout the entirety of their life.
We all start out the same as a general rule.
Well, not necessarily. Right?
Not necessarily the same,
not necessarily, because people are born with physical handicaps. People are born with mental handicaps.
Right.
But we're created in that little
right.
Okay,
so we start out that initial are probably the same, maybe.
So we have to talk about created. Now here's the deal. Wealth inequality is a real thing here in America. But the reason I get upset with what Gary's saying, and we shouldn't remove it, the reason that I get upset is I'm jealous by nature.
Everybody is.
Right?
Everybody looks at the Joneses.
That's just a human thing. And all the marketing, everything. Listen, Bob, when you bought your first car, what it was brand new off of the assembly line, did you pay more than $3,000 for it? And probably not, maybe $3,500. For his first car?
I think his first brand new car my mom bought it from was a 71 Ford Mustang Mach 1.
Yeah, right off the assembly line for how much?
Probably about $3,000.
$3,000.
Right.
Now you can't buy a used car for under $40,000.
Right. Right.
You can't buy a steering
And
wheel
there's
for
no
3 grand.
steel in it.
Yeah, it's all plastic.
It's all plastic.
Right.
So there's not even a frame anymore. It's all unibody,
Unibody,
stuff, right?
right.
So here's the deal. The deal is this: is that we have been marketed to and lied to help people become wealthy.
Well, they're telling us they're
And
trying to
that's
tell us
okay.
what we want.
And that's okay. You can make more money than me. I don't have a problem with that. You can be a millionaire. I don't have a problem with that if I'm not. Guess what? I have an opportunity. I have an opportunity here in America to move. I have an opportunity to chase after my dream. I have an opportunity to make a better life for me and my kids. Do I choose to take that
Right, I was going to
opportunity?
say, do you choose to
Right?
take it?
No. And
That's
it's hard.
the difference.
And it's hard. I mean, I've wanted to live in the South forever. My daughter says, "Why don't you move, Dad?" I said, "I got a good job here. I'm kind of planted here." Right? We're creatures of habit.
A lot of it's fear-based, buddy.
We're creatures of habit. No, I'm not afraid at all. We're creatures
You
of
just said,
habit.
I've got a good job here. Why wouldn't you move? You can get a good job
Because
there. Good
Well,
job here.
humans are habitual creatures. So once
But I did that. We packed up our entire house and moved out here to Illinois
Oh, well,
to
that was
start
just
a
from
coffee
Iowa. It's the same place here.
to start a coffee shop. We
Illinois is
didn't have
just
a
the
place
same
to
as
live.
Iowa.
So I've
Illinois
done
is
it.
just the same as Iowa.
Right?
We just don't have
Not
Wrangler
quite.
outlets here.
Not quite. But the deal is, inequality. There's always going to be inequality. There's talent.
You'll never
Listen,
get rid of that.
listen.
You'll never. There's always going to be haves, have-nots, goods, bads.
Listen, I'm more jealous of the talent of a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson than I am of you being a millionaire.
Why?
Because basketball is something I loved, and man, I wish I could dunk
Why would you
and
be
play like
jealous
that.
of them?
you can't buy that because you can't buy their talent.
Why would you not?
You can't buy their talent. It's not a hard
Yeah, but
skill that you can just
that
purchase.
talent.
Let it finish. Go ahead, Gary.
Sorry, Gary.
So I mean, you can't. I think what Ken is referring to is that you can't buy the talent of dunking, of slam dunk. Sure, you can buy the basketball, you can buy the jersey, but you can never buy the talent. You can't buy the talent to be implanted in yourself. It has to be something innate, and which you have to really work for it to achieve that level of skill. So, hence, I understand where Ken is going. I mean, you earn $1 million. I think he's happy for you, right? Yeah, but he's not going to be jealous because he also has a chance to earn $1 million. It's just whether does Ken want to take up the various opportunities that are there for him to work to get $1 million? You know, so yeah, I mean, I agree what Ken said. The opportunities are there, and that's what a lot of people are. They want to enter the US illegally or legally. That's actually what they're pursuing. That opportunity to achieve something of their own setting. It may not necessarily be something happy for them, but they just want to be able to have a chance to pursue it. And so if they do, in doing so, they become upwardly mobile. They amass $1 billion because nobody in America thought about this idea, and they came out with the idea. Then I think society shouldn't begrudge them from having the ability to earn $1 billion. I mean, they took the risk, and that's their payout for that. So
they put in the work and put in the time.
yeah. So that's why I do not understand this level of what's happening in American society now, where where you have certain activists saying that no, the rich should share their spoils with the rest of us. Well, go earn your own $1 million. I mean,
Right. So Sal says, what was initially meant when Adams coined the American dream phrase? Not a dream of motor cars and high wages merely, but a dream of social order in which each man and each woman shall be able to attain to the fullest stature of which they are innately capable, and be more recognized by others for what they are, regardless of the
Fortuitous
circumstances of birth or position. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
And you said, "Dad, am I right?" He said, "No."
That was a quick, easy answer on that one.
Ted says people are created equal in the United States in the respect that we all have the same freedoms. Now we base so many things on money. It's perceived the American dream is out of reach for a lot of people who have the talent to reach the American dream, but lost sight that the most important part of the dream is the freedoms we have. And I can absolutely disagree with that. Absolutely not. People are not born with the same freedoms. Some people are born in prison. And they didn't do anything. Right? They don't have freedoms there.
I think, yeah. I mean, we're not all born with the exact same situation, but America, there is a lot more opportunity to do these things than other countries.
Yeah.
And and people want to get here to America, and that's why they're flooding through our over the borders to get here, because there is more opportunity. There is way more less control, even though we have a lot of control on us, but there's a lot less control than a lot of other countries to try to form that American dream for them.
Yeah.
And not be suppressed to actually, if they want to work hard and work smart, that they can achieve some type of success for them or happiness, depending on what it is for them. Where in some countries you can't.
Right.
You're not going to do that in Mexico as well as here.
And Sal says the idea that every citizen of the United States should have an equal opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through hard work, determination, and initiative. To finish off his quote up there is how the Oxford changed everyone to state citizen. Here, and here's the deal, and I'm gonna fall back on this. Not everyone has equal opportunity to achieve success, prosperity through hard work, determination, and initiative. Well, and that's where we can debate equality and equity. But that's
So we were talking earlier about what the Oxford Dictionary definition of American dream was. So the American dream, according to political researchers, says it is a misplaced belief that contradicts reality in present day in the United States. A misplaced belief, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe that that's what I'm going to be able to do? No. And that's where the marketing and the advertising come in and skew us and push us one way, saying, well, if you're going to be happy or you're going to be successful, you need this. You should buy this. You should go work harder for this. Just like back when Clinton came in, the American dream is owning a home. So now you put this person into owning a home, right? Which you can be proud of, but you've also put yourself into a huge debt to where now that debt has to be taken care of every month.
And
so
let
you
me
work harder.
And let me pop that dream for you. You don't ever own your home. The bank owns it.
You rent it,
and then the county. You don't own the land.
Right. Well, you own the home, but you're renting it and you're paying for it over years until you go to sell it, and then they can tax you on the money you made on it up to after $500,000 profit.
Free to try is the American dream. Yeah, the pursuit of happiness. I agree with you.
Bob chimes back in here saying today's topic is great. Look at history, and you will see how the wealthy control the world, and how said control suppresses the desire. Let me do this again. So look at history, and you will see how the wealthy controls the world, and how said control suppresses the desire to even try to achieve the American goal. Kent, my first new car cost less than $2,700.
Right off the assembly line.
Right off the assembly line. Right.
Look at that. Whew.
Well, and
now that thing's probably worth $50,000.
Oh, probably. But probably. It's a suppression, right, of the desire to even achieve that. Some people and that does happen because you're going, I got to work too hard to get that. It's not worth it. I'm just going to go work for somebody else. And that's where, people get the broken spirit, because they don't want to work hard. They don't want to step outside the box. They don't have what Kent and I were talking about earlier, the pursuit. If you do not pursue something and you do not have that unshakable desire and energy to do it, you're done. You're not going to make it happen.
Listen to what I'm about to tell you. We have the American dream is still alive, and it is still something to fight for. If it wasn't, we'd have people leaving America, not wanting to come into America. Right? Take a look at the state of Illinois. People are leaving Illinois because of the constraints that are on there, because they want their pursuit of happiness to be something better.
Well, they just don't want to pay taxes. Right? You can pursue it here. They just don't want to pay as much money.
You're always going to pay taxes.
We're the second highest taxed.
Then it doesn't matter. You're going to pay taxes. There's a horrible argument. We can talk about that some other day. But it's a horrible argument. Here's the deal.
Next week, taxes.
Here's the deal. The bottom line is the American dream is still alive. The American dream is still there. But we have a country full of quote unquote entitled little pricks. Right? Because they have grown up in America, that it should show up on a silver platter.
They automatically should get it.
And that's why a lot of the world hates America.
I agree 100% with what you have just said. That I mean, I'm not American, but I agree with what you have said.
Yeah, his
that
point,
is the truth.
Right.
yeah,
That
his
is the
point
truth.
is awesome
Right.
because we were talking about that when we asked your daughter, what's the American dream?
Yeah.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
She had no
Mm.
clue.
It
Why?
is the truth.
Why? Because she's got a nice
correct.
house. She's got clothes. She gets to do, I'm assuming
TV in every room in a
Right.
house.
I'm assuming gets to do a lot of nice things that probably most kids that would, she
Yep.
takes for granted, and other kids are going, what? Right?
You have a room.
These kids have a lot of these kids have no drive to move forward,
All
right?
We're
So
running out of time real quick. What
we
I
can
meant,
go till
what I
9:30
meant
today.
by China is now going through the redefined American dream consumption at its best. They are positioning themselves to be the world's largest economy. They probably are the world's largest. I mean, it's huge.
America is a consumerism society.
Yep.
I got to buy it. I got to have it.
Gary, do you have inflation over there? Is a question.
Sure, we have inflation. Yes, I mean we do have inflation, but of course our government tries to control it. But I mean sometimes it goes out of control because we import 95% of the things here in Singapore: food, clothing, everything. We are not a manufacturing country, so 95% of what we have here is imported from countries like China, US, Europe. So if you guys sneeze, we get a cold.
All right, real quick. Bob says corporations are not people. There starts a problem. Whole different show, absolutely. But yeah, once if we can take away the rights of a lot of those corporations, things may change.
Right.
The point Ted says
laws.
the point is people in the United States have the natural born right to work at achieving what level of success they want to reach. People in prison can still obtain an education
Free.
so that when they leave prison, if they are allowed, they can reach their dreams. We are spoiled by our freedom that other countries don't. And that's a whole nother show too, because I don't believe that you're in prison to be rehabilitated. You're in prison to stay in prison.
They don't
That's a whole different thing.
in prison. Yeah.
Right. That's a whole different thing, whole different show. Listen, folks, here's the deal. In 2022, we've got 5.3 million listeners. We've got a ton of listeners out there, but we're really trying to drive some social media and push some
We're
things.
looking
We
to
need
get
you
to
to
1,000 subscribers.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Instagram,
Ring the
Twitter.
bell, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Love us, follow us, share us out, because it's people like you who get caught in the net that make this absolutely possible. We absolutely love and are grateful for that. Our American dream is that we want 21.6 the net to change the world. One
daily dose of daily dose of encouragement every day, guys. And if we can get to these 1,000 subscribers, the amount of things that we have in the works that we can really help chart changing the world one person, one day at a time. And that's all it's about. One person, one day at a time, and just showing the love, sharing the love, and sharing your American dream with somebody, and helping maybe somebody to figure out maybe what their American dream is. So when you ask your kid what their American dream is, they don't go, huh?
Hey,
we love you all. Thanks for stopping and getting caught in the net.
I've got to run to the bank. I got some things this morning. So Phil and I are not doing bridging civil tension, but come back at 1 for the neighborhood pulse and 3 for In the Know with Steph and Joe. We love you. Remember, be good and be good to each other.
Yep. Love you all. Thanks for stopping in and getting caught in the net this week.